Okay, Tony Stewart has joined us. Tony drives the number 14 Old Spice Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. And Tony, I understand you raced out at Paducah last night, got a win in the modified, and maybe talk about that, and then also about your outlook for this weekend here at Talladega.
Yeah, I got a pretty cool start to the weekend. We went to a track that myself and Kenny Schrader and Bob Sargent are co-owners in Paducah, Kentucky, and ran late model and a modified last night, and had a flat tire in the late model race, but did win the modified race. So that's a good start to the weekend, and then get a chance to come here today and start a pretty cool weekend with the Old Spice Matterhorn car. So different paint scheme tonight and different look for the uniforms, so it'd be a lot of fun.
Good. Let's take questions now for Tony. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll come around with the wireless. Tom Jensen starts us off right here.
Hi, Tony. Tom Jensen, SpeedTV.com. A couple of weeks we've got coming up the All-Star race, which was your team's first race last year. Can you talk about what winning that event meant for your team and just sort of the atmosphere of being somewhere where there's a lot of money and no points on the line?
Oh, it was awesome. It was obviously our first weekend having Gene back on board with us, and to go out and get the organization's first win, and the first win for him after all the years that he's been a part of this sport, and having there to be a part of it with us was really cool. Definitely wasn't a scenario where we were worried about points or wasn't worried about what it paid. It just happened to be a cool night where we didn't have to worry about the points, and it came with a nice paycheck. So the big thing was just getting to victory lane and how much it meant to the guys that had never been to victory lane before in that organization, and seeing how excited they were and happy to be there for the first time.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Gluck from SBNation.com. Tony, last week you took blame for the incident in Texas, but looking at the replays, was that really your fault? Because
I didn't look at the replays because I went from there to Indianapolis to tire test for 2 days, and then to Paducah, Kentucky yesterday. So I don't know. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it.
Do you still think it was your? Were you being gracious and taking the blame for something?
I said what I thought had happened. I've heard that a lot of people have said a lot of different things about it afterwards that may have been different than what I saw in the one replay that I did see in the infield care center. But I don't care. It's past it. I'm worried about Talladega this week. I'm not worried about what happened last week.
Right here. Go ahead.
Hi, Tony. Melinda Adams, ESPN. Can you sort of talk about what it means when you drive through the tunnel and your thoughts about Talladega in general?
I drove across the crossover on the backstretch, so I didn't go through the tunnel. But it's just another tunnel. So, I don't know how many racetracks you go to each year, but there's a lot of tunnels, a lot of crossovers, and most of the time, by the time we get here, it's dark. So all you want to do is get in there and go to sleep.
Well, I guess the track in general was my question, and what you think about
Why didn't you ask me about the track in general versus asking me about the tunnel?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just, what you think about Talladega and the track and how it races here.
The good thing is we could take everybody in the media center and put them in cars here, and everybody could drive well on this track. The great thing is I got to be a part of the watching them. I was here one of the days that they actually repaved the racetrack, and it was a pretty cool process to watch how hard and how much work it took to actually do that. But it's if highway DOTs could pave roads as nice as they redid this racetrack, you'd fall asleep driving. This, for as fast as we run here, it's absolutely the smoothest track I've ever been on. The good thing is it's got a lot of grip with it too, and because of the fact that there's not a lot of bumps and it has a lot of grip, handling's not an issue. So it's literally a 190 mile an hour chess match around here of trying to figure out where you need to be and when you need to be there. But literally we could take everybody in here and take a day and put you guys in cars, and we could have you running wide open in 3 laps. You'd be comfortable doing it.
Okay, let's go, Jason, over here to Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. There's been a lot of talk about your organization this week and what might or might not happen over there. And aren't you sort of pleased, number one, that your organization has put itself sort of in that position? And two, what's the reality of, the potential for your organization looking at all that's floating around right now?
Well, again, I haven't watched TV. I've been testing all week. I've been in a car since last weekend, so there hasn't been anything changed at our shop. We've been testing this week, and nothing's changed. If anything changes, like I've always promised you guys will be the first to know if and when something changes. Our status isn't any different this week than it was last week.
Is your phone ringing off the hook about it?
No, Claire, I don't keep my phone on because I don't want people calling.
Gotcha.
Other questions? Raise your hand. Right here.
Tony, Brad Gilly, PRN. Can I jump ahead a week to Richmond and ask about
Absolutely,
that track?
please do that.
You got 3 wins there, a lot of top 5 finishes. What is it that you like about the track, if you like it at all? What's unique about it?
Actually, it's my favorite Cup track on the schedule. I just always have thought that Richmond was the perfect size track for a Cup race. It's where the 2 short track races that we run, other than Richmond, with Martinsville and Bristol, they're both really cool in their own right, but there's a lot of congestion at both of those tracks. It just seems like that extra quarter mile and that 3/4 mile shape and how wide the groove gets there. It's a neat track for the drivers because it seems like we have to race ourselves and race the racetrack versus racing each other a lot of times. And you do have to race each other, obviously, but there's a lot of times during the race where you have the flexibility to move around on the racetrack and try to find a spot that your car likes better than somewhere else, and that's something that a lot of times on a short track you don't have that flexibility. You're more narrowed down to what groove you're going to be in.
Other questions? Raise your hand. Anybody?
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Tony, thank you for your time, and good luck this weekend. We appreciate it.